What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Ostrich Show. Today we're looking at some of the new Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man 60th Anniversary 2-packs. So we have 3 2-packs here to look at. So first off, we have the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows set, where we have Spider-Man and Spinnerette. So we have Peter Parker and Mary Jane. So both of these look really cool, where they both have the powers of Spider-Man. Both of those look awesome, especially that Mary Jane. And then we have the 2-pack of Silk and Doc Ock. So both cool, getting another character from the Spider-Man universe, as well as a villain of Doc Ock. So that's going to be really cool. And then finally, we have the pack of the King in Black, the Null and Venom pack, which looks really cool. So we have Null, the King of the Symbiotes, and then Venom itself with the cool wings that can be attached. So that looks really cool. So we have these 3 2-packs that all look really cool, and I'm excited to check them out. Of course, it's the new plastic-free packaging, so we have the solid packaging where we don't see any of the figures or anything, so we're going to have to open them up, and hopefully all our figures are in there and good and everything. We ordered them online, so we should be good with that. Just hopefully the quality's good, but let me get these open out of the box, and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with Spider-Man from the Renew Your Vows pack. Of course, this is Peter Parker, but from Earth 18119, which is an alternate reality part of the Secret Wars storyline. So this is just an alternate version of Peter Parker, mostly connecting in with that Spinnerette story. That's the biggest part about this pack. Otherwise, this is just a normal Spider-Man, but it does look a little bit weird. Like, I think his face looks a bit off. It looks like a bit too, fat or, long or something. Just something weird about the head itself looks weird, but I like the big eyes on it, big reactive eyes and stuff. Looks like we have some paint issues there, but otherwise the eyes look nice on the head. Just the head shape is all weird. Like I said, from the side it doesn't look bad. Just from the front it looks like too flat or something and too elongated down. So just a little bit off there. But then the rest of the body, just looks like your pretty standard Spider-Man with the all red and blue outfit. Of course, have the spider on his chest with all the webbing designed in the red and going around to the back with the red spider on there. The normal Spider-Man design continuing all the way down to we get to the red boots, where this time they have a toe joint on them. So that's the one thing that makes this Spider-Man a little bit different, as well as the joints. We'll see some comparisons with other Spider-Man. So it is a little bit different. Just overall, they made some changes. Still modifying Spider-Man after all these years, but hopefully he just gets better for better posing and everything. But we can do his movement, so his head can twist all the way around, and as you kind of see, it's like a dumbbell joint there. So it can twist all the way around, can look down that far, can look up that far. So pretty decent movement just overall, and a nice swivel along with that. But then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90. Yeah, up to 90 there. And it has the butterfly joints, so it can rock back and forth, and of course can rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up a little bit stiff, but can bend up at least that far, which isn't bad. And the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. And then we go to the ab crunch. So he has 2 ab crunches. So he has the upper ab crunch and twist. So he can crunch back and forth. So crunch forward. Pretty okay, back a little bit more, so crunching there, of course, can tilt side to side, but a nice twist in there as well, so you can twist all the way around. And then we have the lower ab crunch as well, so more towards the waist where it can crunch. So it can crunch back that far and forward that far, so with those working together, get much better crunches in there. We then go to the hips that come up a little over 90 there, and then out to the side, some thigh twist that twist all the way around, and it kind of looks like his hips are sort of drop down. Yeah, they're dropped down there, so you can push them back up in. Then the double knee joint that can bend all the way up and pretty much kick himself in the butt, which isn't bad. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth, a little bit stiff but can flex back and forth, and twist side to side, and as I mentioned, the toe joint on the end. So he has pretty good flexibility overall, not bad in any of the joints, and seems to have pretty good range. So when I try to pose him up and stuff, hopefully I'll be able to get some better Spider-Man like poses. So it's not an amazing Spider-Man character, no pun intended, but it's still just Spider-Man that we've had multiple times. So we're not seeing game changing stuff, just little modifications like the toe joints on this one. But he comes with some accessories that we've had in the past as well. So we get an unmasked head. So there's a head of Peter Parker, which again looks like one we've had in the past. I always like this look. Doesn't look as nerdy as I would expect it to be, but it's still a nice looking head there. And then we get additional hands. So first we get the opposite hands. So we have a web slinger and a fist for the opposite hands. And then we get 2 wall crawling hands for that. For some comparison, we have some other Spider-Man. So here's the pizza Spider-Man. So you can kind of see that body design there. And he is a little bit smaller. And then we have this other Spider-Man that has the same sort of ab crunch. So he has the upper ab crunch and then the lower one as well. So that's probably the most similar. I don't know if their body's reused. Just from the camera, this new one looks a little bit taller, but it could just be the head design or something. But the body seems a little bit thicker, but again, it's hard to tell. It could just be a reuse of this body for all I know. But just wanted to show those different Spider-Mans just so you can see a comparison. And then we have Spinnerette, which is Mary Jane Watson, again from Earth 18119, and a part of the Renew Your Vows storyline. Peter ends up reverse engineering Dr. Stillwell's Tellsuit to mimic his powers and gives it to his wife so she can have his powers too. So she pretty much has all the exact same powers as Spider-Man, such as superhuman strength, speed, durability, and reflexes, as well as wall crawling and spider senses, and the built-in web shooter. So again, she's just exactly like Spider-Man, just the female version. And I think she looks cool overall. I really love this outfit with the all-white design, but with with the red details in the center, just like Spider-Man. So the red details with the white webbing instead of black, which is cool. A white spider instead of black. She doesn't have a full face covering, just a little mask design covering her eyes. And of course her red hair, so she has like the bang designs at the front, but then the rest of her longer hair there and the bun in the back. So with the red, that looks nice. And then nice face design with lipstick and stuff there. So overall, I do like that design. And the outfit, like I said, looks nice with that red and white design. Just looks really cool. Going all the way down where she has these little feet things on her boots. I assume it's the boots that go up and they're folded down, or it could be part of the pants that come down and overhang with that Spider-Man design as well. Not exactly sure what it's supposed to be, but I think it looks cool. And I like the boots having the spiderweb designs on it there too. So I just really like this figure just for the look alone. I think it looks really nice. But then we can go ahead and do the movements. So her head can look down that far and up that far. You can kind of see it has the joint there. So it allows some pretty good movements. And of course her head can twist all the way around. And then we go to her shoulders where it comes up to 90 degrees, so even a little bit over there, and can rotate all the way around. We have bicep twist, the double elbow joint, which is nice for a female having double elbow that can bend pretty much all the way up on itself. And then we get the wrist that twist around and flex back and forth. And then we get the ab crunch under her chest, so crunch forward, barely any, but back mostly, so you get that crunching there. Of course, can tilt side to side and twist all the way around. Then we go to the hips that can come up to 90 out to the side there, thigh twist all the way around, double knee joint that bends that far to the back, very close to kicking her own butt. And then we get the ankle that can rock back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements, you know, for the female that has pretty good movements, having those double elbow joints and just pretty much overall joints. Just the ab loses some movement in there. And then unfortunately the colors don't match. Like in the middle body here, the red is much darker compared to everywhere else, so it kind of stands out a little bit, but it's only really noticeable up close, so it's not horrible, and we tend to have that issue with Marvel Legends a lot. But overall I think it looks really nice, so that's all that matters. And she has accessories just like Peter. So first we get the unmasked head, so there we have Mary Jane just with her hair all down and without the little mask. So looks good, looks pretty much like the Mary Jane we've had before from like the retro card back, which of course I forgot to grab. Looks pretty much just like that one, maybe a little different, but I think it looks good. And then we get additional hands, same as Peter, so a web shooter and a fist hand, again the opposites, as well as a set of wall crawling hands, so just like Peter had. And now that we have her, we can go ahead and bring Peter in. So we have Spider-Man and Spinnerette there, which is pretty cool having them together from the Renew Your Vows pack. And next up we have Silk, which is a character we've seen multiple times before, but her real name is Cindy Moon, and she was bit on the ankle by the same irradiated spider that bit Peter Parker on the hand. And just like Peter, she began to develop her powers, but was locked away in a bunker to hide her from Morlun, which is another Marvel Legends we've already done. But Peter ended up learning about her and freed her, so she became a female Spider-Man, and they did date for a while as well. But she's just a pretty cool looking figure. I like the design of her a lot. But she has powers very similar to Spider-Man as well, so she has superhuman strength, speed, durability, and reflexes, wall crawling, silk sense, but she has organic webbing. And so overall I like her design. Like I said, I love this with the all black outfit mostly, but with the white details, so she has the white in the center with the spider legs coming off of it for design. So we have the two up top, so we have the two going around there to the back on both sides, as well as the bottom two, so they come down. And then we have the face there of Cindy Moon, so we have this one without the scarf piece on, so you can see just her face there. And this time she has shorter hair. The other ones have had longer hair, so this one's the shorter, but it has the blue highlights just like past ones, and I always like that. And then like I said, the little scarf piece that she uses to cover her face there is just dangling down. I like the S on her chest, so for like the silk and stuff, the red S, and then the webbing design stuff, and overall looks pretty nice. Some red details on her fingertips, and then just black going all the way down to the tips of her shoes where she's got some white details on, but again looks overall pretty similar to the figures we've had in the past, and you'll see that at the end. But we can do her movements, so her head can twist all the way around. She can look down that far and up that far. Of course this piece is probably in the way, can get up that far there, so decent movements, especially if you didn't have this piece on. But the shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself once again. So her and Mary Jane are probably gonna have the exact same body. Wrist twist all the way around and flex back and forth. So again, we have that crunch under chest, so crunch forward pretty much straight on, but crunch back mostly. Nice swivel around in there and twist side to side. Then we get hips that come up 90 out to the side, thigh twist all the way around, double knee joint that bends all the way up, not far from kicking her butt. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth and twist side to side. So yeah, she is on the exact same body as that Mary Jane, so they're identical. Then we get some accessories as well. So first we get a head with the mask on, so she has the red mask covering her face there. So I may switch this out just because I like this piece more. So there she is with the mask covering her face, and like I said, I do like that a little bit more. I feel her neck looks a little bit weird without this piece, hanging in there, so that looks a little bit different, but I do like her face being covered overall there more. And then she gets a number of hands, so we get the opposite set of hands, so we have wall crawling crawling hand and a fist hand, again opposite of what she has on. We get a set of grip hands, which I don't really know why she needs a set of grips, but she does come with them. And what's really cool is she comes with a hand with some webbing on it, so we get this nice like clear webbing with some nice like details into it and stuff, like the webbing design. So that's pretty cool. Again, shooting her organic webbing out of her fingertips, and I like just that design there. So let's switch her right hand out. So there's our hand with the webbing. I'm not sure if it's supposed to wrap around her arm, but it kind of fit in there perfectly, so I just got it wrapped around her arm, and there she is shooting her web out, which I think is really cool. So that's an awesome design. And then we have the older silks we can bring in. So this is the older one, I believe. So the older one with the gray details, but still you can see the red webbing on her chest and design and stuff. So overall it's pretty similar, so as the mask, and again the longer hair. And then we have the newer one, which is pretty much the exact same body. I don't really see really any details or differences, just the head obviously where she does have the longer hair. So those look pretty cool. I do think I like the longer hair one more, but I do like having this web effect for the hand and stuff, so I'd probably either switch the head over to this body or just take that hand and pop it on this one, since they are pretty much exactly the same and not really any different. So the silk isn't a necessary figure, just if you missed out maybe on this other one, you can get this new silk, but it's not really that much difference. So overall I'd probably prefer this one more, but I do like that web hand there, which is cool. But either way, it's nice to always have silk, so having this version is cool with the additional accessories. But next up, we've got Doc Ock, or Dr. Otto Octavius, who was a brilliant nuclear physicist that designed a set of advanced mechanical arms to assist in his research, but during an accidental explosion, the arms became fused to his body and mutated his brain to where his thoughts alone could control the arms, and he turned to a criminal life under the name of Dr. Octopus. So he looks cool here. It's pretty much a figure we've had before, and I'll show that comparison. It's pretty much the exact same body design, but I like this one a lot more because the colors are much brighter. So the yellow is much brighter. It's a nice bright yellow, as well as the green. It's like a solid green instead of the darker green that we'll see. But we have that old Otto Octavius design, so he's, of course, he's got the fatter body design, so he's got the fatter face. But I like that he's got the glasses on, so these like silver color glasses, like the square designs, the bowl cut hair design with the brown hair. That's always fun. And then this one has the teeth gritted and showing, so he's got a big mouth there. But like I said, I love the color design stuff. This is what I always love for Dr. Octopus. And then we have the ports on the back for his tentacles to go into, and then a nice like bluish chrome design, which is cool. So overall, pretty nice design. Of course, we'll see it compared to the old one, and then of course his additional accessories. But let's go and do the movements first. So his head can twist all the way around, and you can look down that far and up that far. So not much movements. He has the joint in there. It just doesn't allow the movements too much, just probably because of the fatness. So his chin's hitting his chest there, and then his head's hitting the back. So it doesn't have much movements. But then we go to the shoulders that can come up close to 90, a little bit under there, but can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist that twists around, the double elbow joint that bends up that far, which isn't bad. Wrist twist all the way around and flex back and forth. But then we go to the ab crunch. So he's got the ab crunch right on the chest, so he can crunch back and forth. So crunch forward, crunch back. So pretty decent crunching, better than the females. Has a nice swivel all the way around, and of course can twist. Then we go down to the hips that can come up close to 90 there. So yeah, if you kind of force them up to 90, and then out to the side as well. It's real stiff in there, but there's the movements. We get the thigh twist that twists all the way around, the double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, which isn't bad. A shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So he doesn't have the best movements ever, but he is a thicker guy, so he's not gonna have, but overall not a horrible figure. But we get some additional accessories. So first we have an additional head. So we have the head without the smile. So if you want to just have a more stoic face, it looks like the glasses are a little bit off, like they're a little bit too high. But yeah, we just have that normal face. And then we get a set of hands with the opposite hands. So we have like a grip or claw, and then a fist hand as well. Like I said, the opposites there. And of course the main feature is the tentacles. So we have these tentacles, and I thought they were newly designed ones. Like I thought they were a little bit different, but they are the exact same ones before. They're just in a new color. So they're like this sort of metallic blue design, and then you can see the blue there in the center, of course, the hands, and they rotate around and stuff. So we have these we can try and put into his back. So there's the tentacles coming out of his back, and I think that's pretty cool. Obviously you can pick and choose wherever you want them. They don't have to be in this specific order, but I feel that's how they go. I didn't look at any pictures or anything to know exactly, but I hate how these are off to the side. I'd run them more to the front, but I don't know exactly how you get it to do it unless you sort of like leave them where they just flip them around so they kind of cross over the back. But either way, I still think that looks pretty cool. Like I said, I thought they were going to be different tentacles, so maybe you could pose them around and move them a little bit more, but they're just the same as the last one. And speaking of, we can bring that older one in here. So there's that older Otto Octavius. You can see the colors are much darker. Of course, can't get fit with all the tentacles, but the colors are much darker, especially the yellow and the green and everything. And I like the green glasses on this one, but I think the overall the colors look more like the metallic blue with this design. But there you can just see the comparison between the two. Exact same figures once again, just they change the colors of the tentacles and then the overall body design. So again, not a necessary figure, especially if you have this older one. It's just if you want this design, because I would definitely prefer this one more over the other. And next from the King in Black pack, we've got Knull, which was the king of the symbiotes. He was a primordial deity that was drifting through the endless void until the Celestials arrived and created the Marvel Universe as we know it. And him being mad about this disruption, he created All Black, the Necro Sword, and used it to kill a Celestial. The others ended up banishing him deeper into the void with the dead Celestial's head, where with that head he began to create the symbiotes. And from those he ended up creating a symbiote armor and began killing the other deities until meeting up with Gore the God Butcher, who ended up taking All Black from him and killing him. But he reawakened and created an army of symbiotes with himself as the center of their hive mind, and he spread them out across the universe until eventually the death of the dragon known as Grendel broke the hive mind connection, and the symbiotes rebelled against him and trapped him into a planet made from billions of symbiotes all put together called Kleintar. So that's the planet we know the symbiotes are from. So he's just like the creator and origin of all the symbiotes is what we have. So that's a lot of story to go through, but I just wanted to set that all up because I feel he's kind of an important character, especially connecting up with Gore the God Butcher. So if you saw Thor Love and Thunder, the villain in that is Gore the God Butcher, and so he ends up taking the sword from Knull, but in the movie the god he takes from isn't Knull. I wish they would have used him, that would have been pretty cool. But his sword, we're going to see here in a second, originally created by Knull, and overall I think that's a cool connection between the figures. But he's cool. This is a really tall figure. It's got to be probably getting close to 10 inches tall, but it's really tall, and so at the end when I have all the figures up you'll see them all together and just see how tall he is. So he's really big, but he looks pretty cool. So he's got an all white skin and hair, so it reminds me a lot of Gore the God Butcher there with the all white skin. But here he has a head on already with black eyes and the teeth all showing. I think the teeth are too much, it's like way too much, but it looks pretty cool, makes him even eviler with the white hair blowing there in the wind, which is pretty cool. But then he has the all black armor, like I mentioned, is made from a symbiote, so he's got the all black like knight's armor design with the Venom logo on it, which, you know, originally it was a spider design, you know, based off Spider-Man and stuff, so it was a white spider. But we learn in this it's actually supposed to be a dragon, so it's got a weird head, but it's supposed to be, you know, the dragon wings and then the tail and body of the dragon. So that's part of the dragons that feature in the storyline. So again, that's supposed to be what the design is, not a spider. So even Venom itself is supposed to have the dragon design, but like I said, it's originally was a spider. But it's got the all black body underneath, so with all black designs, you know, looks like muscle and stuff, just painted all black with the wrappings going all the way down his arms on both sides. But then he's got like a bronze color belt holding on this like little skirt piece there that again going down the legs, you can see it's like looks like all muscle painted black, and then he's got some more armor on his legs, so from the knees going all the way down there, and they all black as well. So just looks really cool. I really like the design. The head I'm not too crazy about on this one. I'll probably switch out for the other head we get, but overall it's cool to have Knull here in a figure. But let's go and do his movement. So his head can twist around, probably get it twist all around with the hair sort of in the way. Maybe look down that far and up that far. So he has double neck joints, so the neck joint where the head connection here, so it allows it to twist and rock a little bit there. But then we also have the neck joint down in the body, so it has some movement back and forth there. So good movement with both of those, but still with the hair it's in the way, so you can't really get it too much. But then we go to shoulders that can come up close to 90. It has the wrappings up here that kind of get in the way of the joint, so you can only come up a little bit under 90 there and can twist back and forth. We get a bicep twist in there and a double elbow joint that can bend up pretty far, not bad, with the wrist that can twist around, and this one flexes up and down. And then we go to the ab crunches, so he's got an ab crunch in the middle, so crunch back and forth. You can kind of see that split in there, so crunch forward, crunch back. So not the best move, especially forward because of the armor piece, but he can bend back pretty far, and he can twist around at the waist. The hips can come up, it's not too bad, like you can get close to 90, you just have to kind of force it with the joint, it's pretty stiff. And then the skirting here as well, you can kind of force it up there, but out to the side there, and has the thigh twist all the way around, and the double knee joint that bends up that far, which isn't bad, and the foot flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So not a horrible figure. It has some limitations with some of the joint issues and the body design, like outfit design and stuff, but overall it's not bad, and I do like this quite a bit. But for accessories, as I mentioned, we get an additional head, so we have the head without the teeth showing, so I'll probably switch out to this because I hate this mouth and stuff on that one, so I'll switch out to this head. So there he's got more of a stoic face on, and then of course we get all black, the Necro sword. So again, this is what the sword was supposed to look like. So if you watch Thor Love and Thunder, this is what the sword was supposed to look like. You see it's an all black sword, again made of a symbiote with some of the red symbiote, so it's kind of like a Carnage symbiote thrown in there as well, which is pretty cool. So let's go and put this sword into his hand. Well, there we have Knull with the sword, and I just kind of posed it up like that because I thought it was cool. But either way, pretty cool to have Knull there, you know, have the king of the symbiotes and have all black, you know, the sword that's kind of played a role in like the recent Thor movie. Pretty cool, just figure overall to have all that combination coming together in this one figure. So pretty cool figure overall. And then also from that pack, we've got Venom, of course, real name Eddie Brock. And I tried to look up stuff pertaining to the storyline, but it said that Eddie senses that Knull was coming to Earth and warns the other heroes. So we have storyline where multiple superheroes like the Avengers and everything team up trying to defeat Knull and his minions. But at one point in the story, Venom ends up merging Mjolnir with a piece of Silver Surfer's surfboard into a large battle axe that he uses to fight through all of Knull's symbiotes and even a Venomized Celestial. But he eventually gets to Knull and is able to rip off Knull's armor and grabs a hold of him and flies him up into space and vaporizes him using the unipower with the sun, and Venom then becomes the new King in Black. So this Venom here is really cool. It's a big figure, not nearly as tall as Knull was, but it is a large figure still and looks pretty awesome. So it just looks like Venom, but if you don't recognize it, this is the exact same Venom as the movie version. So I'll show you that comparison here, but it says the exact same version like body wise and stuff, just repainted to look like the comic version. So I like that they use that because it's a bigger body, so it gives you that bigger size and everything, and a body that I thought was pretty decent. I like that movie figure a lot, so having the classic look of Venom in that design is really cool. So with this, we have the normal Venom, so the all black body has the white logo. Again, that was originally based off the Spider-Man spider, but from this storyline, it's supposed to be a dragon, so it's supposed to be the dragon wings in the body. You have the big Venom eyes with the nice little white curls up top, the big wide open mouth. You can see how far it comes open the back of his mouth. That looks pretty cool, with the teeth and the tongue sticking out, very nicely textured tongue. I doubt you can see it too well, but it looks really nice, that tongue design. Then we got the hands. We have the white marks on like boxes and stuff with the claw hands, and all the way down we have the feet. So this is how you can tell it's the movie versions, because the weird like separated toe feet, almost like the monkey toes, and it has a nice texture all through it. Again, I don't know if you can really see it, but it has the nice texture running all throughout the body there. So pretty cool figure. Like I said, I really like this because I like the movie version, so having that same figure painted with the classic design is really cool. So I like this a lot. What we can do is move it, so his head can twist all the way around. You can look down that far and up that far. Not the best movements there, but it's not horrible. Then we get the shoulders that come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get bicep twist, the double elbow joint that can bend up that far, almost all the way up on itself, so not bad. With the wrist that twists around and flex back and forth. And then we go to the ab crunch, so the ab crunch, so crunch forward, crunch back again, not much. Crunching mostly back on this one, a little bit forward, but crunching there. Of course, nice swivel and can twist side to side. And then it has the lower ab crunch as well. Again, you can barely see those in there, so you can bend it even further forward and further back. So with the crunching, you can get pretty far forward and pretty far back. But then the hip can come up to 90 out to the side there. Thigh twist all the way around. A double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, almost kicking his own butt. And then we get the foot that flexes back and forth and twists side to side. So besides the neck, he has pretty good movements overall, like not too many limitations. The only thing would maybe be like butterfly joints in the shoulders, because everything else is pretty good. So no real issues with anything, like I said, just besides the neck on this figure. So really good there. But then he comes with some accessories. So first we get an additional head. So we have the head without the tongue sticking out, but I like the tongue one. But there you can see just has the big mouth with all the teeth and stuff, similar to that Knull. So I don't like this one, but it's nice to get an additional head so you don't always have the tongue out. And then we get additional set of hands. So we have fist hands instead of like the claw hands. So we have those fists as well. We can switch out, and we get another pair of accessories. But before we do that, I want to show comparisons to the other Venoms. So first, this is random Venoms I just found. So we have this Venom on like the buck body, I think they call it. So it's one of the bigger body designs, but there we have that Venom. And of course we have the monster Venom. I don't know if this was a Build-A-Figure or what the deal was, but we just have a big monster Venom with the big body and everything. But as I mentioned, we do also have the movie version that this figure is based off. So again, it's pretty much the exact same body, just repainted into the classic Venom design, and has a new head sculpt design with that newer tongue. I like this new one much more than this one, but yeah, it's the exact same body as this movie version. But now I can show you Venom's last accessories. He comes with a set of wings. So he comes with these awesome big wing designs, which I don't know exactly why he has wings. Like I looked up the story and it says they just kind of appeared on him during one of the fights with one of the symbiote dragons. Him and Miles Morales started falling from the sky, and his Venom body just sprouted wings. So he has these like dragon-like designs. So he has these wings now, and that's how he flies, like with Knull and stuff. So he just has these big wing designs, you know, like dragon, black on the back, some red on the inside with holes, which I think is pretty cool, with the black framing of the wings and stuff. But we have the holes there that can go into the back. So we have the holes there in his back that we can pop them into. So there's the wings on Venom, and I think it looks really cool. Of course, it's the same issues we have with like the gargoyles and stuff, is that the wings just take up so much space, and they're really hard to get in the back. I don't know if I even have them in all the way, and of course I'm just worried about them possibly like breaking or something. But I think it looks really cool just how big it is, and it looks really awesome. And of course the wings have some movement, so has the joint up here that allows some movement back and forth. But unfortunately with these, they keep like falling out, so I keep having to like pop them back in. But it has that movement in there, and then of course you do have the joints in the back, so you can move them back and forth, and they move in and out and everything. So you do have some movements and options, but of course it's also hard to get him to stand up with this. It keeps like pulling his body to one side. But I think they look really cool. It's a very awesome design for the Venom. It just, like I said, may not function the best. And like I said, yeah, it looks like this one wing's just falling out. I can't get it all the way in. So it's kind of a lackluster thing to keep falling down there. Yeah, it's falling out. But if I could get it to stay in, it'd probably be really cool. Like I said, it just takes up a lot of space. Well, there's all of our Spider-Man 60th anniversary packs, and with this you can see how tall the Venom and Null are compared to all the other figures. So Null's definitely the tallest, followed by Venom, of course with his big giant wings there. So both of those look really cool. Of course, they require a heftier price for them, but I think they both look awesome. So if you want to have those figures, I definitely recommend them. The Mary Jane and Peter Parker pack isn't bad. Like, they're not necessary figures, especially Spider-Man. You know, we've had 15 million Spider-Mans, but it's awesome to get Spinnerette, the Mary Jane version of Spider-Man. So I think that's pretty cool. She's an awesome figure. So that would probably be the draw to this pack. And then the Doc Ock and Silk isn't required, but I definitely like these figures a lot. These are probably my favorite versions. Like I said, just switch out the head on Silk. But all three of these 2 packs are really cool, and so I can kind of recommend them all. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.